So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a second game here between Imperium and Impunity. And Crea is going to be playing his Druid up against Demente's Druid. It is going to be a mirror matchup. And I am just very excited to bring you that series here. That's it. My name is Babael. Or rather, I am Babael. And I am going to be casting this series here by myself. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Shared by EGTV, of course. And so far 2-0 in favor for Imperium. And it does seem like that Demente's computer is just barely catching up here. But we should be able to see his first hand very soon. Crea on the flip side doesn't have a good hand at all. It's Starfall, Ancient of Lore, Ancient of War, and Keeper of the Grove. It's just crazy. But that said, we have Ancient Watcher, Double Chewing Yeti, Harvest Golem, the coin, as well as a Force of Nature. So this does seem like it's not a Ram Druid, but rather a Watcher Druid. Watcher variation of it does seem very strong. He's actually going to coin here into a Chewing Yeti. So that's basically turn 3 here for Demente. Crea picks up Healing Touch. That's not going to be very helpful. Starfalls the 4-5 there and deals 4 damage with his own Yeti. Demente, on the other hand, is going to try and draw into... He does have Savage Roar right now. So that is one full combo already for turn 9 there for Demente. He picks up another Chewing Yeti onto the field. Gets Wrath as well. And for Crea, gets a Faceless Manipulator. Keeper of the Grove is not going to be a pretty good play. But effectively, there is no real way to pick off the 4-5 unless he Hero Powers to kill it off. The question is, does he want to copy the 4-5 to try and provide a bit of early game pressure? It's not really recommended because you want to keep the Faceless for Ancient of War instead. But he doesn't really have a good play. That's the problem here for Crea. He can deal sufficient damage using Keeper of the Grove onto the 4-5 just so he can kill it off with his own Chewing Yeti. But his Yeti will be liable to just any form of damage, maybe even swipe here, which he doesn't know Demente doesn't have. But of course, you don't want to be in that kind of a situation. So I hope the volume is fine here right now for everybody, and everything should just be okay. If you still have trouble hearing me, do let me know over the stream chat, just so that I can respond correctly. Right, so I guess he decides to go for a complete facial approach. And Demente here, it's gonna be his turn right now. You know, once again, I cannot wait for spectator mode or ops mode, whatever you call it. It's just going to be so good, so that I don't have to do this anymore. But yep, there is the Big Game Hunter coming in here for Demente, and Demente from Imperium will be able to play Wrath plus the 4-5 knocking on a Yeti to pick one extra card, and I believe that is going to be his play. He's gonna leave his own Yeti there with 1 health, which is not that bad. He picks up an Innovate, it seems. And Innovate, he can of course just innovate into the Azure Drake, but he goes for the Harvest Golem instead. And here comes a swipe for Crea. Easy swipe to pick off the 2-3 as well as the 4-1. I would actually... yeah, there is nothing else I could probably do. Yeah, Hero Power to pick off the 2-1 there. So Harvest Golem really doesn't work well against Druids because they have so many ways to kill it. Wrath to kill it off, then Hero Power. He can even double Wrath if he wants to. But so far we have turn 6 here for Demente. And Crea, because he did play the Wild Growth first, he will have the opportunity to play the Ancient of Lore, which he is going to draw 2 cards with. Hopefully there is no swipe in hand here for Demente. Right, so the 5-5 on the field does help Crea to draw another swipe as well as a Sunwalker, and Demente gets Druid of the Claw as well as a Blood Mage Stalnose. So he goes for DOTC into bear form. That's a 4/6, very beefy, and a Sunfury Protector as well onto the 4/4. So this is gonna warrant an instant swipe on the 4/4 just so he can actually pick off the 4/6 with his 5/5. He gets Nourish, which is gonna mean that he can draw 3 cards again, but he doesn't have that much space left in his hand, so he needs to play something else as well, and that would be highly recommended to be the swipe there. Of course, the 4/6 is not inherently a big problem. The biggest problem over there on Demente's side of the field or board is going to be the 4/4. He needs to find a way to kill off the 4/4, but I guess copying the 4/6 does buy him some time and provides sufficient traction. Don't exceptionally like that play, but I do see he has got one Keeper of the Grove that can effectively silence the 4/6, trades the 5/5 to the 4/4, and effectively ends his turn. He does have one Healing Touch in hand, so I believe he's not really afraid of dragging his past comfort zone. Looks pretty okay so far for Crea. For Demente on the flip side, his hand is complete utter trash right now, except when he reached turn 9, which he can actually... Wait, does he have lethal next turn? Seeing now he has got Innovate as well as Savage Draw Force of Nature. I think that's 14 damage plus 8, 10, 10 plus 6. Yeah, I think he actually might have lethal. 16 plus 14, that's 30. But with the swipe, he's actually left with one immobile 4/3 as well as a 2/2. So Innovate into FON plus Savage Roar is not gonna pay off. So swipe there is ultimately the right play. And he does actually trade a 5/5, so not really trade, but knock the 5/5 into the 4/6 at the end for Crea. So now Demente is in a very confusing spot, and until I see his next card, I cannot really decide what he gets. I think it's a Defender of Argus. That is gonna buff up the 4/3 into a 5/4, as well as the 2/2, giving it a bit of a taunt. I'm actually guessing that there might be a Mark of the Wild here on the 4/6 or the 5/1 to try and deal some extra damage to knock off the 4/3 there. Of course, on the 4/6 to just knock off the Ancient Watcher, and the other one to kill off the Sunwalker Fury if the Defender of Argus from Demente comes out. Of course, the Rogue comes out here. Demente doesn't have much time left to think, but he's done very well so far, knocking off Manju and giving Imperium a slight advantage over there at his entire team. And yeah, alright, so if you guys can hear me just fine, I think everything is okay. Let me just check the stream chat a little bit while Demente is deciding. Yep, he does go for my play, the DOA onto the 5/4 as well as the 2/2. So 3/3 now. So it seems like Ancient of Law is going to try and commit suicide there. And effectively, there might be even a Sunwalker play, but that's very dangerous. Crea decides for the Sunwalker play, goes for it, and I think everything else should be okay. So that's it. Crea now is going to knock on Demente. Demente down to just about 19 health. Sunwalker comes out as mentioned, and Demente is going to have a next turn here. But a Rogue comes out for Crea. He's deciding if he wants to mark off the Wild onto the 4/3, and yes, he does it. So now it's a 6/5, dealing even more possible damage. Of course, it's just nicely out of range of the BGH that Demente has, but that's just fine. So yeah, we're now at Demente's turn. He picks up Innovate, and I don't see how he has got a good combo. So I hope everything works out just fine for him. And And I think he might just take 10 damage next turn. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. He might take even more if Keep of the Grove comes out here from Crea. And Demente, man, this mirror matchup just not going in favor for him. With so many taunts from Crea, this strategy might just save Impunity. Alright, so what's it, Demente? What's he gonna do? He can't big game anything. He can't... Well, he can effectively use up the Force of Nature combo to try and pick off most of the minions there. And yep, he goes for my play again, Force of Nature. That's in fact the only play. Savage Draw as well, just so he can clear the board. He is actually going to innovate into a Hero Power, I believe. A Blamish Talnos? Nope. That's not really going to do much for him. He double innovates into a Blamish Talnos and Hero Power, and that's going to kill off the... That's going to deal damage, I think, on the Crea. No, it's not in time for that. Wow. Okay, so Rooted, Ancient of War. Or is it Uproot, Ancient of War? He's deciding there is one card left in the hand there for Demente. It is a big game hunter. Crea cannot afford to go too greedy. If he goes Uproot, yep, he does decide to go Uproot right now. That is easy food for the BGH. Oh god. Demente is gonna have a field day to snipe out the 10-5. Yep, there we go. BGH coming out there. And he thinks it's a mistake. Okay, so now we have a 4-5 as well as a 4-2 on the field there. Should be a silence on Karn Bloodhoof. Of course, it has to be a silence. Oh, actually Moonfire on the 4-2. I would prefer the silence on 4-5. He's actually going to innovate into another Ancient of War. This time, we're going to be Rooted. Would have not been a... Wouldn't have so much problem if you went for Rooted in the last turn. Greed kills, man. It does. So Demente down to just one card. One from the top deck. It's Keep of the Grove. Silences the 5-5. Routes it for extra card. 4-5 can run into that very nicely. And he picks up a card that we can all not see, but we all now know it's an Ancient Watcher. 4-5 gonna kill off the Ancient of War. Crea might actually just lose this game because of the 10-5 approach there. Not a good option. But of course he does have Mark of the Wall to beef up the 2-4. He gets another Keeper of the Grove, but he is going for Norwich to draw into 3 cards. Sunwalker comes out, Sylvanas, and the DOTC. DOTC the best play right now. Bear form. Exactly correct, sir. Go for that. And probably run the 2-4 into face directly, seeing how he's got sufficient taunts in hand there. Demente, with most of the cards already out on the field, will draw one card there, and it might just be something. It could be a swipe. It could be Ancient of Lore, which I think if he does run Ancient of Lore, it's gonna help him a lot. But nope, it's a DOA. So now taunts up on the 5-6, and the 3-5 is gonna share the burden with the 4-5 to kill off the bear. But both of them down to just 1 health right now, and we have Hero Power just to deal some extra damage there onto Crea. Crea now is at 25 health. Another DOTC comes out here for Crea. Probably Sunwalker is effectively going to be a pretty good play, but actually going for Sylvanas is not that bad, and just give him Mark of the Wall as well. He's gonna go into Shapeshift. But he needs to be careful if he plays like that, because there is the chance that he is only going to steal the 5-6. Or unless he runs a 7-7 to kill off the 5-6, then there's a chance for that to happen. Or if Demente runs double BGH, which is very, very rare. You don't really see double BGH in any deck, because generally you save it. You save one good shotgun for the best beast you think the opponent's normally running, like Ragnaros, or probably stuff that's very big, like a 10-5. So yeah. Or maybe even a Mark of the Wild on the Sylvanas Winarder. So these are good targets to snipe out with BGH. Of course, sniping on Sylvanas may not be that good because you're actually sending him a free 4-2. We all need to remember that part. And playing the Sunfree Protector to give the 4-1 taunt, I don't like that, because it makes it accessible. But I guess it doesn't really have much of a difference right now because Demente is just so far behind in terms of having cards on hand, etc. And there's nothing much he could do. Nothing much at all. He can provide taunt to the 2-3, but we have to be really serious here, guys. It's a 2-3. What can it do against a deck that runs so many late game minions, so many taunts? DOTC, he's got, for you guys who don't know what's that, that's Druid of the Claw, Sunwalker, double Mark of the Wild, double Ancient of War, along with some of the other nice taunt providing minions. And I guess the rope's actually gonna expire here, and he's actually just gonna hero power and end his turn. Yep, Demente choosing to do that. And the Black Knight top deck here, Allura Man comes out. 5-6 bye-bye, 7 damage directly to the face indeed there, as well as substantial damage of 2 coming out there from the Keeper of the Grove. That's 9 damage effectively, enough to pick off more than enough minions on the field there as well. Hero power first to pick off the 4-1, and effectively going for face. Yes, that's 9 damage, and Demente, his spree might just end here. It's a short spree, but it's still a good run, and the game's still not done. There is a chance for him to come back, but I just don't know what cards he needs right now, because I think this is an Ancient Watcher Druid deck, and this is a Ram Druid with a lot of taunt, and he gets a Ragnaros. It's gonna be hilarious if that snipes out the 7-7 and it still Ragnaros for Crea. Let's see if that is going to happen indeed. Of course, Demente's hand is lagging, and that's because he has only 0.41 megabyte per second upload speed. It's not even 1 megabyte per second. So for all you guys around the world that's wondering why is this happening, it's not on my site, guys. It's up to Demente. And I think he actually went for a... He might actually have disconnected, because on my screen it does seem like he placed the Sunfree Protector in the middle of the Ragnaros as well as the 2-3, but his turn is not really ending just yet. And this is not looking good. Alright, let's just hope that both of them reconnect somehow to this game. Oh yes, Sunfree Protector comes out. Finally, yes. Blizzard server. Okay, nope. Ragnar snipes out the middle one, and the Innovate comes out here. Crea runs 4-5 into the 2-3. Kills off Ragnaros, snatches it for himself. I think he cannot do that. He might just have lagged out. Oh god. This is so frustrating for him. But if he doesn't kill Ragnaros, Ragnaros might just snipe out the 4-3 this turn. And yep, he doesn't kill Ragnaros. I think Crea's connection might be the problem. Demente picks up Ancient of Lore, draws 2 cards. Maybe he heals up. Don't know, I'm gonna have to wait to see. But trust me, you don't want to see his screen right now. It's just completely pixelated. I think Hearthstone is lagging. There is a chance that that's crazy. But just in case you guys wonder, Crea would have won in that turn with the 7/7 knocking on the 8/8 hero power to pick it off, and even if it doesn't steal that, and very nicely using Drift the Claw as well as the 4/3 to knock on Demente. So Demente would effectively have lost if this is a DC. And as you can see, it's... we should... in this kind of situation, I guess it would be fair to say Crea would have won this game. I'm actually going to pull out the loading screen first while the server corresponds. He does have a cat form in the hand just now as well, so everything else looks pretty okay. Ah, he just got DDoS'd. Oh god. Wow. Okay, so it seems like both players are lagging. Yeah man, the screen is just crazy. I was supposed to win, I have no idea. Yeah. It does have Drift the Claw, it's basically in that turn that is disconnected. Man, the server is just not being absolutely friendly. Let's just see what happens now. So you have silence and I guess effectively... well, now it's back, but yeah, Crea would have won in that turn. And even a BGH is not... yep. I guess it's just very unlucky right now. So what we're gonna do is effectively we're gonna call it a game. I think the game is completely off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it a game here for Crea, and seeing how this is just an exhibition show match, it should just still be fine, given that both of them are having connection issues here. And the rope is on Demente's side, the rope is on Crea's side, the rope's on both sides. So this is another great example of the rope killing the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relate my decision to both of the captains. Okay, so Demente and Imperium, being complete sportsmen there, knows that it's lethal for 2 turns and they are going to lose that. Hopefully the lag goes away by then. Oh, this is interesting. Demente conceded, but Crea is still in the game. So anyway, gonna update the score. It's 2-1, and I guess that this was a pretty clear, straightforward win for Crea. He had lethal for 2 turns, so there's no much of a question